what would you say to RKelly if he was sitting right here?
Where they're putting you deserve it.
Oh my God. That's a good one. I wanted to ask you that the last time I was here.
Not really. I just can't even,
It goes back to how we treat women.
Yeah, I mean, what the devil? I mean, you want to treat folks and be hostage, and I always thought that pleasure is a two-way street, and if you care for someone, it's you're happy that they're happy, and for him to all of a sudden make your displeasure his pleasure. I just, really, I mean, I'm saying,
It's confusion. Doesn't make sense.
No, it makes no sense. And I'm just puzzled. If you're, and I'm probably being recorded, but if once you get a certain degree of success, you don't have to mistreat people. People want to be around who they think you are before they find out who you are. And therefore, you can be something. I'm just saying that, so no, if you said, if I say anything to RKelly, I'd say goodbye. I'm sorry. I mean, I remember when I was living with my wife, and oh my goodness, she'd be on my case some days, and fussed at me and all kind of this stuff, and so one day I came home and I was really upset you didn't fuss that, and everything. So I wanted to shock her. I threw a piece of bread at her, but I made certain not to toast it. I just wanted to scare her. So anyway, so when you bring up something like RKelly, I just shake my head.
Yeah.
And don't even have no sympathy and justification for that kind of behavior.
Yeah.
So all I can say to him is goodbye. I'm sorry. I just.
That's a very good one. We'll make sure that he gets it. So we have a book here, and I'm in this book.
Okay.
It became a best-selling book 2 weeks ago, and it's 18 women that wrote a piece of their lives and their stories in here. And it's so good that you talked about women and respecting ourselves and making sure that we taught people how to respect us, because sometimes our society's taught us one thing, and the music artists like RKelly's taught us one thing, some acceptable things, and we're now learning to change that for our young people, for our children, our daughters and our sons. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about, or just sort of maybe have you give us a word on what is the importance of us doing things like this, because in this book, about 18 of us, we share our stories. And we share our stories not because we want the whole Me Too movement, but we just want to make sure that we are heard. And we want to create the opportunity for other women to be heard and for them to step out and speak up. And men as well. We actually have a forum where we've had men come and speak about the importance of raising our young men and, just some powerful things that men want to say about the home that they rarely get a chance to talk about, because men are not listened to.
Well,
so
that's what I've been trying to say all the time.
Yeah.
That we have to communicate with each other, and we have to share.
Right.
And we have to share our experiences, and we have to share what we have. And the key thing is to share people how we can give them a critical path.
Yeah.
To where they can make their goals.
Right.
And I'm just saying, I always say, it doesn't hurt to be nice. And I can tell when I'm either in restaurants or in a line to get on the plane, that most people don't treat people really good. Because I feel that when I'm thanking folks and all that, they light up. So if everybody was doing that, they wouldn't come at me in such a positive way,
Right.
which is telling me that a lot of folks just blow them off or don't treat them right, and those things. So I mean, I try to pay attention to how people are interacting, and it's just like I said about the butter. I mean, you gotta know who's in charge of the butter and treat them accordingly.
Right.
I mean, and so I'm trying to make analogies that people could
grasp onto,
really understand. Yeah. And then you see, I think when I first talked to you,
we did a dance at the LCC for the unveiling of Malcolm X. We did two of my youth people did a dance.
That was very good. That dancing the kids did. I told Richard Whitmer later and Pam, they did a great job. And Brent had called me to go to lunch with him, and which I did. I liked Brent a lot. So then I went through a lot of history and I found out, he told me later, he was picking my brain to get some background so he could give a speech that was really relevant, and so forth. And so I was there. He told me how to get in the parking lot right, and I didn't get it right, so I ended up on the street getting a ticket. And I knew not to give him my ticket because he wouldn't have felt sorry for me, so I just went ahead and paid the ticket.
Yeah, that's how it is downtown. Downtown, you can't get parking for anything. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you so much for taking out the time to spend with us this afternoon. I think you answered all our questions about 400 years, talked about RKelly.
Did I do all right?
You did really great.